welcome back to the channel. My name is Gulder and this is my halfway update with my nano camp now in April of 2022. So I'm laughing a little bit because my stated goal with my participation in this camp this year, it was really optimistic considering who I am as a writer. I honestly thought that I could just sit my bum down in my chair and just like do what I did when I was a child, right from beginning through the middle to the end, just to have a working, story, a concept, a discovery draft. I can't do that anymore. Like, I really wanted to do that. I wanted to just sit down, write a cohesive story, and then just add to it. Did that happen? No. No, I have a mess of a discovery draft. Like, it's not a complete story even, but it's a discovery draft with just a mess of scenes and settings and characters. It's not complete trash. It's just not what I was aiming to do. Which honestly is still good. Like, I'm still learning so much from doing it this way, because I am learning how I operate as a writer, what I can do better. Because let's be honest, this is my second attempt at actually writing a story in over a decade. The first attempt being November last year, which I am still so stoked over. And honestly, thinking about it, I think that what I will be completely off topic again. I am thinking that when I'm participating in Nano this year, I think it will be another proper draft of my first novel attempt with the PMS Parities. But, back to Genius Loci. Again, what I found is that I cannot start at what I think is the beginning and then work my way through like when I was a child. Somehow that just doesn't translate with 30 years of experience. And that's okay. I just need to work with that. What I do have is I do have a firmer grip on the set, on the location. I'm getting more of a taste for the surrounding of the story. I am getting to know my main character properly. Still debating on whether or not she needs a name. I just call her the narrator because it's from a first-person perspective. I do this and I do that and this is my opinion, that kind of thing, which is interesting to write in. Usually I've been writing in a third-person perspective. So doing it first person is a little different. A little bit different. I do need to check routinely to make sure that my tenses are correct, or at least as correct as I know how to make them. But yeah. Now I did set myself the word goal of 30,000 words this month, which is still like, it is less than a proper nano month. I am behind on that. I've only got 10,000 words done. Today is the 15th of October, so that means I should be on 15,000 words. I say quotation marks, but because this is still a game, this is my hobby. I'm still having fun. So it's a discovery draft. I need to remind myself of that from point to point, because I keep doing the thing where I want to be like negative towards myself, but fortunately I am learning to be more positive. I'm looking at it more positively. Yes, I'm not at the goal that I set myself. I knew I wouldn't be, because this is me. But I'm still really happy with what I do have. Like I said, I'm getting to know my main character way more. I know that she's a middle-aged woman. I need to make her more apathetic, I feel, but to really hone that in, I need more of the storyline figured out and what happens. I do know now, since last night, that she lives in a 2-story house. I originally thought that she lived in a single-story house. She lives in a 2-story house with 5 cats. And cats and ravens have become a thing with this book, or this novelette. Oh, no, what do you call it? Novella, apparently. With this world, with this Genius Loci, and this main character is cats and ravens. I'm like, not sure where that comes from, but I appreciate it. The other, like, main character, but also the set piece, is the Genius Loci. I haven't quite gotten to know them yet. I know a little bit more about their backstory and why the Loki is the way that it is, but I need to write more about them to realize who exactly they are. Like, originally, in my original idea or plans, I figured I had them pictured as taking a human form to talk, you know, to interact with my narrator. They decided to take a cat form. I'm like, that works too. And then there are the other 2 main characters who are generally the driving force of the plot, and those 2 I need to get to know better. I do know the main antagonist a little bit better. Their driving force, what drives them, why they are there, is better now than what I originally planned. Like, I think I talked about that. The original plan was to have them, or him, be an agent from a shadow organization that's, you know, trying to get a handle of things, and now I'm like, actually, it's a little different with this guy. He's not with that organization. That's a completely different thing. And then there's the woman. No one has a name, except for certain side characters who just pop up in the narrative or like, and then the woman, I don't really know her yet. I do like her. She's, so far, she's rather soft and just realistic, but I do need to get to know her better as well. I am liking the world. I'm liking all the things that are popping up in the narrative. And when I say the things, I mean with a capital T, because there are creatures in this town, around this town, in the forest, that's like mostly surrounding the town, and there are things. And they definitely affect the world and the Loki and the people. And so at least I'm having fun, you know. And I do notice that I am a huge Pratchett fan. Terry Pratchett was my main inspiration for my love of the English language, and I am noticing that there's quite a bit of an influence from him, and particularly when it comes to the narrative and describing the world around. I do notice a tendency with myself to write interesting little tidbits that are just in the narrative and not just there. Like at one point, I mean, there's a Discovery draft. I do know that may be edited out. But at one point, my main character is taking a walk through the forest because, well, she needs a little calm and peacefulness, even if it's forest with a capital F, and there are things. But this is the world that she lives in, so she takes a walk in the forest, and at one point she's crossing a stream that has been recently boarded with rudimentary plagues, because no one wants a repeat of what happened to Mr. I remembered a moment ago. What happened to a certain Mr. who disappeared. They don't know what happened to him because the only thing that they found of him so far is just the top of his skull. And then we just move on with narrative. At another point, there is a mention of an old widow Bailey, who the narrator mentions that she has been warned not to taste her food because, well, let's just say that her jam is not low calorie resource, but let's just say that sometimes most of us would rather not know what's in the old widow's jam. Okay, at least I'm having fun writing this, and yeah, that is my quick little update for the halfway point of this this experiment of mine. So yeah, I have no idea how to end this video, so I'm just gonna say talk to you later, and see ya. Bless bless.